Hey everyone, welcome to USA Crypto Group. Today we have Dao Whale for this AMA session. Dao Whale is a venture capital DAO, stand for Decentralized Autonomous Organization that is driven by the community. Founders and developers can pitch their ideas to raise the necessary funds for their projects. Similar to the popular show Shark Tank. Like always, this AMA session is not financial advice, and there's no commitment to the team. With that, I'd like to welcome Shrimp. Shrimp, pleasure to have you here, brother. If you can start out introducing yourself, your team, and talk about you guys' background.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure being here. And yeah, let's go. So I'll go by the alias Shrimp Toshi. I've been in the crypto space since 2018, 2019. I started off lightly investing into blue chips. Back then in the UK, I was buying BTC through the ATM machines, which charge an extortionate 7%. Luckily enough, we're not buying BTC through those machines anymore. Until about last year, just over a year ago even, I got into developing projects. I actually started out by investing into degens. One of my close buddies made a coin. Back then, the charity token trend was popping off. I had actually invested 90% of my net worth, which was a very naive move at the time. Within 2 hours, I had lost the whole all of the money. But reflecting back now, it was the best investment I had ever made, because if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have learned all the adversities along the way to get me to the point where I'm at now. So yeah, in terms of background, I primarily focus on product development. So all this, what we've got here, the Dao Whale, the concept, the utility, I've came up with, it's been in development for the past few months. And yeah, so I got the inspiration to do Dao Whale from just being an investor, right? So since I've been in this shitcoin, the meme coin space for around a year, I've invested into a lot of projects which have lost me money. And the reasons why I did lose money was simply due to certain founders not having the right experience, not having the right network, incubation, or even the wisdom to make projects successful. Therefore, I wanted to fulfill that gap and provide a platform where founders can get the help that they need in terms of network, incubation, marketing, any service that they need in order to turn a concept into reality. I've done a few projects in the past. I'm also working on a gamified startup. The concept for that is essentially creating an ecosystem where we're creating multiple games under one ecosystem, backed by a tri-token ecosystem. So there's 3 tokens that benefit each individual game. Therefore, users can play multiple games as well as trade multiple tokens under one platform. That startup is a whole different approach from this current space that we're in. We're pitching to venture capital. So at the moment, I'm CBDO of that project. My role for that is essentially going out and pitching towards venture capital, which also gave me a lot of inspiration to create Dao Whale as well, because when I'm pitching to these VCs, we're pitching for money, right? So we're pitching for investment. It's currently 8% of company equity in exchange for 3.2 million, which puts the company at a 40 million valuation. Since pitching towards VCs, I understood the fundamentals of what they look for when it comes to promising projects and promising founders as well. So I'm basically taking on what I've learned when it comes to pitching to them, understanding the psychology of investors, and basically flipping the script, positioning Dao Whale as the venture capital and providing a platform for projects. Dao Whale is a multifaceted platform where every single party involved has a benefit. Project founders get the benefit of funding, exposure, marketing. Investors, they get the benefit of proposing and voting on investment decisions for the DAO treasury. And then we've also partnered up with around 30 entities, one of them being Presale and USA Crypto Group, and we've partnered up with around 30 different call channels who will be pushing towards this similar goal as a collective. One of my other co-founders, Jeff Cyrus, he's not here right now. Unfortunately, he literally got COVID yesterday, so he's quite ill. He's resting right now. However, he's my close friend. We're friends in real life. We've been working on projects for the past year, advising on other projects. So we've got some skin in the game. We've got a pretty fair network. One of my other partners is in here, community manager, goes by the name Alexander. Alex, you there?
Yeah. Hello, boys. I'm Alexander. I'm Albanian. I'm working as a community manager for the Dao Whale. I've had the opportunity to know Shrimp long before we started working on Dao Whale, and I'm really happy to be here. And also, I've had the vast experience in managing communities before. I've had the chance to manage like communities that total like 20k members, 25k members. I've been part of projects that went to 500 plus million in market cap. And I'm looking forward to welcoming everyone from the USA Crypto Group within our main chat.
Awesome. Thanks for the introduction there, guys. Alexander and Shrimp Toshi. Is there anyone else in your team here with us?
Not for tonight, no. Not for tonight. It's quite late over in the EU.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we appreciate you guys staying up late and being here with us today. Yeah, looking at you guys' experience and you guys' background, it is pretty massive of all the projects that collectively that you guys were involved in or still is involved in. A lot of people shy away from it, but to me, I think that's a good experience to have because, with everything, right? The only way you learn is through experience, right? So the more you involve with things, whether you fail or succeed, you learn something from it. So that's good. I love the concept, brother. I really love the concept. Before we go on, though, the name is Venture Capital DAO. Let's speak on what is a DAO is for those that are listening that may not understand what DAO is. Stand for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, which is a feature within the crypto space that a lot of projects use. Right, it's pretty much a thing that's driven by the community, right? So the community has a lot of saying of as far as what's going on through vote system. Am I saying that correctly there, Shrim? You want to touch up on that a bit?
Yeah, sure. That explanation was spot on. The protocol, the Dao Whale protocol, essentially is a platform where investors, token holders have the right to propose and vote on ideas that they think should be done for the DAO treasury. So let's say we had 100K in the DAO treasury. Being a token holder, you have the right to have a say in where you think that 100K should be invested or spent.
Perfect. Yep. And also, you guys, as kind of what Shrimp Stoshi just said earlier, you guys have probably heard the term VC stand for venture capital. It's pretty much a form of private equity, right? Type of financing that investors provide for startup companies. In this case, crypto projects, right? In the space. So that's what venture capital is. Venture capital DAO. So when you put one on one together, pretty much self-explanatory. Through community votes, they're going to raise money for startup projects. So that's the core of it. All right, perfect. So let's go on to let's talk about the let me see what I have on here. The protocol here, Shrimtoshi.
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and let you lead the way. We're gonna go through the white paper. Very well explained. So you can just give us detail on each section of it.
Right. So this is the page in the DAO. I've written propose and vote because not everyone understands what a DAO is. This is more of a simple explanation to understand how the DAO works and how the funnel of funds proceeds through our ecosystem. So before I go into this, I just want to identify the the vision for what we have and how we aim to not necessarily disrupt the space, because what I've seen in a lot of projects is that a lot of projects do tend to overpromise and under-deliver, and therefore I don't want to sell it too much. I just want to make sure that everyone understands our vision and what we plan to do. So Dao Whale, what is Dao Whale? Dao Whale, we're essentially creating a platform that gives the opportunity of project founders to come on to get the help that they need when it comes to investment, exposure, incubation, like anything you need. Let's say Seattle, you had a project, right? You didn't have the right network. You didn't really know anyone in the space. You weren't really too involved within the Telegram communities, but you had an amazing idea, a novelty idea that you think would do well. So what you would do is you'd buy our native token, and then on each transaction that you make, a 3% tax is collected and 3% buy and sell. So let's say you buy $100 worth, $3 is collected. That is then funneled into the DAO treasury, right? And then once it's sitting in the DAO treasury, it starts to fill. This is public, so anyone can come and see how much is in the DAO treasury for full transparency. But being a token holder gives you the right to propose and vote on ideas. So let's say you had that amazing idea. We're going to call it Seattle token, right? You're going to go onto the DApp, which is here. You're going to go on, create a new proposal. This is still current in development, but you're going to click on project, and then you'll fill out all the details of your project. It's a 3-step form, so there's a lot of information to fill out. And the reason why we've done so is because we need to make sure that our vetting process, our diligence process is top notch. Therefore, we can get the highest quality of founders. Let's say once you've submitted the proposal, now what happens is that other token holders can vote on your idea. At the end of every week, 3 proposals will be chosen to come onto the Whale Tank. The Whale Tank is essentially a private community of token holders that own 1 million tokens and above. The whole purpose of the Whale Tank is basically a Shark Tank or Dragon's Den if you're from the UK. Being in the Whale Tank gives you the right to pre-select tokens that you think would do well. So as a Whale Tank participant, you get to watch live pitches of the projects that come on and do their AMAs. Also, there's multiple benefits of being in the Whale Tank. You get whitelisted for all the projects that come through. So let's say 3 projects in a week get chosen. They come onto the Whale Tank, they do the pitch, it's really good, and Dao Whale decides to fund or invest into their project, right? Now, everyone in the Whale Tank would have an exclusive whitelist to those 3 projects that are getting incubated by Dao Whale. We're also doing an NFT collection further down the line. It's essentially an index fund collection, which I'll touch up more on. It also gives you more voting power as well. Being in the Whale Tank, you get to judge projects, or if you don't want to talk, you can just listen and watch the judges judge the pitches. But yeah, being in the Whale Tank, you can give your input on how you think the project should go. Since we're a DAO, it's completely decentralized, meaning anyone within the ecosystem has a fair vote towards like shaping the trajectory of each individual project or DAO Whale overall. On the DApp, we don't only invest into projects. We've added a section where you can put any form of investment, anything that creates or has the potential to create profits further down the line is welcomed. Because the aim of the game as a token holder isn't necessarily to create a project, because not everyone is going to create a project, right? So what you're going to do is, let's say you had an amazing idea of investing into a particular company or a business. It doesn't have to be Web3 related. It can be in the real world, right? So if you wanted to open a brick and mortar shop branded DAO Whale, you can do so by creating a proposal. The way how the DAO treasury is split up is going to be 50% towards projects, 50% towards projects, 40% towards blue chips or other investments, and then 10% towards futures trading. So what we've done is we've hired a team of professional futures traders who will quote unquote be degenning the 10% of the DAO treasury, right? And obviously the vision is to create profit. So it doesn't really matter what kind of proposal or what kind of investment it is, as long as it has a positive ROI within a decent amount of time, then it can be voted for and executed on. So I'm going to run through the staking. The staking itself is going to be broken down into tiers. The way how the staking system works is there's 2 different tiers of staking, which provide different set of incentives. So gold, you have to stake a minimum of 1 million tokens. Each gold staker has access to whitelist for all the projects that get incubated and launched out the whale tank. Bored whale NFTs, all gold stakers will have a whitelist for the bored NFTs. And most importantly, the whale tank, which is the private networking community. Going down onto silver, it's 500,000 tokens and a bored whale NFT. So the way how the reward system works is essentially, let's say we've invested into Seattle token, we've allocated a term sheet of 50,000. Within 3 weeks, we get a return of 100% ROI, so a 2x. The way how that 50K would be broken down, right, is into a 30%, which is going to be used to buy back our native token and then reflected to stakers, therefore creating more buy pressure on our chart. And then secondly, 30% in BNB reflections to stakers. And the reason why we haven't done 60% primarily going to buybacks and reflections is to essentially mitigate the whole risk of token fluctuation. Therefore, our token holders can continue getting rewarded despite the status of a chart. So let's say the WOW token is below the floor price. As long as you stake it, you're still earning BNB. You just need to stake and propose and vote, right? So this way is completely hyperinflationary proof. So I'll give you an example here. DAO profits 200K within the first month, 30%, 60K, used to buy back and reflect to stakers. The other 30%, which is 60,000, which will be reflected back in BNB to stakers. And then the remaining 40%, which is the 80,000, will be used to further grow the DAO treasury, because the aim of the game is to consistently and continuously build the DAO treasury, meaning the more we can grow it, the more investments we can make further down the long term, meaning more rewards for our investors. Tokenomics, we've got the ticker as WOW, W-A-O, pronounced WOW, like W-O-W. Total supply, 888 million. We're deploying the contract on the Binance Smart Chain. Token utility, NFT trading, staking, governance, and proposing voting. So the tokenomics, right, it's an 8% buy, 8% sell, which comprises of 3% going towards a DAO treasury, 3% going towards marketing, and then 2% going towards the liquidity pool. Token distribution has been meticulously designed by me and my developer to essentially mitigate the whole risk of dumping. We've got around 60% going towards LP, and then the DAO reserves team will be vested over a period of time, which mitigates the whole risk of unlocked tokens. Obviously, no one wants to invest into a project with a large amount of unlocked tokens. It's extremely risky, and it's not really a safe environment to invest in. So Board Whale NFTs. This is going to be coming within the third phase of our roadmap. Board Whales is essentially our own NFT protocol line. These are going to be like profile pictures with utility. They're going to be branded around our whale character. But the benefits of holding and buying the NFT is essentially you get more voting power. So we're going to have 3 different tiers of NFTs, right? Tier 1, Tier 2, and then Tier 3. Tier 1 would be equal to 3 votes. Tier 2, 2 votes, and then Tier 1, 3 votes. Tier 2, 2 votes, and then Tier 3 being 1 vote. We're also offering the opportunity for people to come on and stake their NFTs to earn WOW tokens. To speak a little bit in depth about the utility behind the Board Whales is that we're essentially creating an index fund NFT collection, right? And basically what that means is that we're essentially providing a sale to investors, which gives them indirect ownership of all the projects that have been invested through the Whale Tank DAO treasury. So let's say within 2 months, we've invested into 10 projects within the Whale Tank. Out of those 10 projects, each individual project will have a direct correlation to the value of the NFT. Therefore, let's say out of the 10 projects, 3 of those fail, but then the 7 succeed. The 3 failed projects would be offset by the 7 successes, right? And then that overall value across the 10 projects would be in direct correlation to the value of the NFT. Therefore, we're providing a solution that now people don't need to go invest into 10 different projects to earn a profit. People just need to buy the NFT, and then that gives you the indirect ownership across these projects that we've invested in, which essentially breaks down the whole barrier of inconvenience. Therefore, by the NFT, you get 10 different projects ownership within the NFT. You get to stake it to earn passive rewards, which will be funded through the DAO treasury investments. And it's diversified as well. So there's a lot of benefits to this. This is going to be coming out soon. We're going to have our first feature within the next 1 to 2 weeks. So we're still fairly early in the roadmap. Website launched, white paper, V1 launched. We've still got a few other things to go. So if you're here listening, then I must congratulate you guys. It's still a very journey. We've just got around just over 2,000 people in our community. We've literally spent nothing on marketing. We've got around 30 partnerships with a lot of renowned, prominent call channels who are basically promoting our project, allowing us to move towards the same goal, right? Therefore, we haven't really spent that much. We've been called by a lot of these channels. A part of our go-to-market strategy is obviously building a lot more partnerships. Therefore, we can sort of leverage off of their platform by engaging multiple communities into our main community. And in return, the incentive that we provide to these partners is that all the projects that get incubated out of the Whale Tank are now introduced to these communities for promotion. Therefore, there's a mutual benefit. Like I said before, it's a multifaceted ecosystem. Anyone who engages with Dao Whale has a form of benefit. Cool channels, partners, they get benefits from us from projects that get incubated and introduced to these channels for promotion. Investors benefit from having a right to vote, which obviously is in direct correlation to their bags as well. So if they make smart decisions as a collective and we make smart investments through the DAO treasury, which could potentially lead to lucrative profits, which will then be distributed back to the community holders. This is still in development with this. We still need to update this, but me, Jeff, Cyrus, co-founders, community manager Alexander, Conda Labs will be handling the marketing. This isn't final. We've got around seven people in the core team, which range from many different experiences and backgrounds. Our team is pretty universal. We've got guys in the UK, in the States. We've got guys all across the EU, South Africa, and Asia as well. So yeah, we've got 7 people in the core team. We've got a pretty big marketing team. Conda Labs is a marketing agency. They're pretty well known in the space. And a part of our go-to-market strategy as well is targeting Twitter influencers. As we all know, there's definitely a big influence on Telegram. But the thing is, if we just stick on Telegram, then we won't be able to get the full exposure that we need. And everyone is fully aware that the people on Telegram, especially certain communities, I'm not going to name drop who, but everyone's fully aware that certain communities have short-term investors. They'll dump after a 2-3x. Therefore, our plan to get exposure on Twitter, YouTube, and the other platforms will allow us to get more long-term holders, which will be more beneficial not only for their bags, but for the project overall and all the different elements that we've incorporated into the ecosystem. This DApp even will be ready within the next week. I'm going to quickly show you guys the trailer. I forgot to play this at the start, but let's go.
Evil Empire, laughing all the way to the Dao Whale, bring a crowd on the block.
Welcome to Dao Whale. We are here to revive the space by providing a venture capital DAO driven by the community. Similarly to Shark Tank, ambitious founders can pitch their ideas to the whales in the community. Any idea, from a snazzy new token, colorful NFTs, or even a totally unique real-world project, has the potential to rise to the top by receiving investments and turn dreams into a reality. An expert marketing team and huge whales like me will be able to support your project along the way, while the community is rewarded with WOW tokens on staked holdings for proposing and voting on hugely smart investment decisions. They're called WOW tokens because they're going to make you go, wow! Want to earn exponential rewards? Stake WOW, sit back and reap the huge rewards of the Whale Tank's profitable winning strategies. The time is due. Let's own the future. Invest now.
So yeah, guys, thank you guys for listening to my pitch. It's been a pleasure. If you got any questions, feel free. I'm very open to any forms of constructive criticism. Any way that you think the project should be, let me know. I'm open ears. We're a DAO anyway, so proposals, votes, very open. Thank you, guys.
Wow. Amazing presentation, brother. Very detailed walkthrough of every single thing. And you guys heard it. Donald Trump says it, so it's a fact. I love the video. The guy, who you guys have voicing or act like Trump's voice. That sounds kind of like him as well.
Yeah, we actually got Trump to do it.
I love it, man. I love the viral concept, man. Yeah. Hey, brother, the project is very well put together. I mean, it's not one of those projects where, it just you guys came up overnight, like we've seen a lot in the BSC space. I think it's actually very well thought out. Love the concept, right? And I love that NFT Index funds, man. That's amazing. So when can we expect that there?
So our plans on the roadmap is we've got certain priorities, right? So within the first 2 to 3 weeks of token launch, we plan to bridge onto ETH so we can capture all the ETH whales. I'm in contact with a few ETH whales already who are going to be advising on the roadmap. So our plan is to bridge over to ETH, capture more liquidity, more volume, and incubate and help ETH projects as well. Because the thing is, with ETH projects, we don't see many ETH projects do IDOs or pre-sales. So for us to go over and incubate certain projects would be definitely beneficial, not only for the project, but for the communities as well.
Awesome.
And then after that, yeah, I forgot to answer your question. But after the ETH bridge, once we bridged over, that's when we're looking to launch and mint our NFTs.
Yeah, I love the concept, NFT index funds, right? So pretty much what you're saying pretty much is, to recap what you said, so whatever the DAO treasury, you guys be investing in different, different investments, right? Not just the projects, but you mentioned blue chips as well.
Yep.
Also, and also other investment strategies. So when I buy an NFT, I get exposure, whatever the NFT represent, like an index fund in a way, right? So I get exposure to these projects that you guys invest in, right? Or the DAO treasury invest in, correct?
Exactly, bro. 100% spot on.
That is awesome. So if you guys know anything, if you guys familiar with the index fund, in real life, that's pretty much what it is, right? So you buy into the index fund that invest in multiple of projects, which mitigate your risk of loss, right? So in a way, so not only the DAO will be also vetting these projects out along with the community, right? But they will invest in these projects strategically. So pretty much they will do all the work, all the legwork for you. They will vet these projects out, and you guys just buy an NFT to represent that index, and you guys have exposure to all these projects at once, which is amazing because it eliminates you guys going out there and buy individual projects or do research yourself. I think that's actually a really cool concept.
Yeah, so we're essentially redesigning the S&P 500 and integrating it into an NFT.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And the difference is that, in real life, over in America, S&P 500, which is the 500 biggest company, which is an indication of, where the economy is moving towards, right? But the return on that is like 10% a year. Now, with what you guys are doing and being in the crypto space, I'm very sure that the ROI on that is going to be a lot greater than the 10% a year. So S&P 500, but a lot more bigger returns. That's what I'm seeing.
Come on now, bro. We're in the crypto space. We're seeing projects 100x. You never see that in the stock market.
Yeah, 100%. And for those who are listening right now, we are officially in partnership with DAO. And if you guys have paid attention to us, we don't take our partnership very lightly. We don't just partner with anyone. A lot of projects approach us every day. And that's not a lie. I mean, meetings after meetings. But I think the reason why we partner with Dao Whale here, this concept, is because if you strip everything down, right? Part of our community, one of the main purposes of our community, USA Crypto Group, is to vet projects, right? To make sure projects are safe for our investors, right? And so when you strip everything out in the DAO, and that's pretty much what they're doing at the core of it, right? It'll be looked at by the people, the whales, but also the community, and figured out what projects are the best to invest in. So because of that, we see a lot of alignment, within our community as well, and what we're trying to do, and that's the reason why we partner with Dao Whale. And I foresee great futures ahead with you guys.
Thank you, brother. Listen, I'm very, very pleased as a co-CEO of Dao Whale. We are very pleased to be partnered with you guys. We've understood that you guys, we have an aligned vision, and that's like the most important aspect when it comes to business relationships, having a similar goal. I know a lot of people in BSC are very short-sighted. They just want to make the quick few X's, but that's not what we're trying to do, right? We're not trying to make a few quick X's. We're trying to make long-term exponential gains, right? We're not like any other token. Our vision is completely different. Like I said before, despite whatever happens with our chart, people are still going to earn money. And that's one of the most important parts, as well as having an equal vote on how people think the trajectory of crypto should be. So yeah, guys, thank you.
Yeah, what's really nice about the DAO is that you get a lot of involvement within the community, right? So you join you stake the token, and you have is saying into what projects you can vote. Now, regarding the DAO though, let's say as the price of the project goes up, of course you guys can adjust that requirement to be the whale accordingly, right? Or to get into the DAO accordingly, correct?
Yeah. So as the price increases, we will be adjusting the fee to get into Whale Tank, or the amount of tokens you need to hold, because as the price increases, it's going to be a lot harder to gain access into the Whale Tank. But right now, anyone who's invested a max bag into the private sale will have access to the Whale Tank. So if anyone wants to get into the Whale Tank, buying a private sale max bag is the best opportunity, because as soon as we launch and we start pumping, it's going to be a lot harder. The entry barriers are going to be increased. Therefore, it will depend on us to decrease the figure into the qualification of the Whale Tank.
So now I know the project is still at its early stage right now, but Shrimp, do you guys plan to like maybe expand to like to different platforms outside of Telegram eventually? Yeah,
definitely. Part of our go-to-market strategy is obviously getting all the Telegram channels fully known about Dao Whale, and then once we've conquered Telegram, we're going to look to conquer Twitter, YouTube, get all the influencers, the KOLs on Twitter and YouTube involved, and potentially even TikTok as well. All those other platforms are currently being planned, a part of our marketing strategy. So that will be executed once we get closer towards launch.
Awesome. And then you guys are doing a heck of a job as far as, raising awareness of the project by, talking to call groups like us and, form partnerships. I think that's crucial, right?
Yeah.
So automatically you pretty much have all the community members within those groups as well, because we're going to be, proactively talking about you guys, vice versa, as long as many other big groups out there. So I think you guys are moving very strategically and very well.
Definitely, bro. I mean, we've got around 30 call channels. We've been called by pretty much every single one of them. If we were to pay them normally, we would have spent at least 20 to 25,000. But since we've strategically partnered up with these entities, we've basically been marketed for free, which gives us more leverage for the community. Therefore, with all the money that we've saved, now we can allocate those funds towards the DAO treasury, meaning we can create many investments, more strategic and profitable investments that we make, the more rewarding it is for the community. So everything we've done has been thought thoroughly, and at the current rate that we're going, it's really positive. And yeah, we don't wish it any other way. So yeah, we're saving a lot of marketing.
Yeah, man, I love it. And I'm pretty sure, like with every project, every business out there, as you move along, you will see, you'll face some hardships and things like that. But from what it seems like, you guys are very good at, good at technical thinking, critical thinking behind it, because I can see different angles, and you guys are able to thought all those out. I was an operation for management in SB for Fortune 500 company. So, that's all I do is analyze and think technically, right? Analytical skills. And I can see that in your project. Are you the guy that's behind all this thinking here, brother?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I love it. Awesome. All right, perfect, man. So, hey, very well presented. I think that's a great idea. I think it's something that's needed in the space. The only thing that I can, my constructive feedback, like you said, is I would be just kind of be, I think the DAO is great, right? It's actually really good to get involved in the community, but at the same time, kind of be mindful, because eventually that could be taken over by whales only, right? So sometimes that could be an issue, but I'm pretty sure you guys are mindful of that, and just trying to find a balance between both, right? From the people who doesn't have a lot of money, the people who don't have a lot of money, to the whales as well. So I think that's going to be your That's going to be important as as you go long term, because you want as many people inside there as possible, just not just whales only.
Exactly, and I'm quite glad that you brought that up, because we've actually came up with a plan to mitigate the whole risk of the ecosystem being manipulated. And the way how we've done that is each individual wallet who wants to propose or vote an idea must hold X amount of tokens. Therefore, it's pretty much going to be very, very hard for someone to create 100 wallets and distribute X amount of tokens to each individual wallet and then doing a vote. So we've made sure that there will be a minimum on each wallet. It's not going to be too much. It's going to be just enough for people to have a right to vote or propose.
There you go. Looks like you guys have thought about that already, so that's great. Awesome, brother. Now let's talk about when the pre-sale again and the private sale.
So the private sale right now, we're raising around 30,000 USD, which we're accepting stable coins, BUSD, USDC, and USDT. We've already filled around 12,000 just from close investors. We haven't really allocated out to a lot of people yet. So there are some spots, and we made sure that the people behind the project aren't just going to GR chart. We're making sure that they're actually going to back the project, provide some form of value in terms of, it could be marketing, it could be network, anything that aligns with the vision of Dao Whale, we're accepting. Furthermore, pre-sale will be conducted on Thursday next week, so the 6th of October. We're looking to raise around 500 to 1,000 BNB. The final figure isn't definitive yet. It will be announced in our main community, but we're definitely going to go off the community sentiment and make sure we do whatever's best for our community, as well as having the buy pressure that we need.
Awesome. Okay, so 500 to 1,000 BNB, but you guys will again look at the market conditions and the sentiment of the people, as the time goes on. And you said October 6th, right, brother? Is that what you said? Next week, around there?
Yeah.
Awesome. And where would this be at? Pink Cell, correct?
It will be on Pixel, yeah. There are Dao Whale's official partner. So all the projects that will be incubated at the Whale Tank will be launching on Pixel as well.
Can I add something as well, Seattle?
Oh, hey, Kanda. Go ahead, brother. I didn't hear you, the first thing that you said there. Kind of cut off there a bit.
Yeah, I just wanted to add as well that not only is Pinkcell our official partner, but they will be pushing us to their partners as well. So if you guys don't know, Pinkcell does have an official partner list, and there's some really, really big names in there. They've already set us up with a couple of them to become official partners with us, but also for the pre-sale, they're going to be pushing us out to their partners, and we're going to get some extra marketing support from them as well. So I'm feeling really bullish on the pre-sale.
Yeah, 100%. I am as well. I am as well. We are as well, and it's the reason why we decided to partner with you guys. I think it's necessary because in a way, it's almost like a structure to really clean up the space in a way, right? To really ensure that projects are come out with real vetting structure, with real voting system, and hopefully that we can weed out all the good projects from the bad projects, and that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, for sure. I'm tired of seeing projects not only waste, they just waste investors' time and money. And, unless you have not just one or two people, but actual community or a committee of people vetting projects, then you're not going to, those few ones are going to slip by you, right? And the goal with Dao Whale is to not let any of those bad projects slip through our fingertips. We're going to have a lot of things set in place to really protect our investors.
That's very awesome. And kind of like what Shrimp and we had a little private meeting behind door, and that's something that they kind of offer all these groups a seat into those position to listen to these projects, and I think that's actually very crucial because, being a research group like ours, our group here, we hear a lot, right? A lot of projects come in and we see what works and we see what doesn't work and things like that. So I think this is going to be very beneficial to you guys, having all these people, all these groups come to the table and I guess give input in a way, right? So I think that's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have done enough AMAs to know, like, sometimes you can just tell by a person's like a project's pitch, you could just tell that they're not in it, right? They don't have skin in the game. They don't have what it takes. They don't have the right devs for the job. They don't have the right artists for the job. They don't have the right community or the mods for the job. Like, they just don't know what they're doing in the space, and you can get that off of the first 5 to 10 minutes in their speech, right? So, with all of the experience pulled together with all of our partners and everything, I think we'll really be able to just weed through all the projects out there and pick the gems,
100%. 100%. All right. Well, thanks, Konda. Thanks, Shrimtoshi. You guys did a heck of a job presenting the project. Everything is in detail, very clear. So let's go ahead and take some questions.
Sure.
All right. With that, Mike's going to come on and he's going to ask a few questions from the community.
All right, guys. Great presentation tonight. I'll grab some. Appreciating it. We have quite a few questions here from the community on text. If anybody wants to ask anything on voice, jump in. I'll start off with G. Mooney here. His question is, will you be going to be supporting by deploying your own funds, like some sort of insurance, to the projects when they are on a downtrend?
So the way how we plan to deploy capital isn't directly through like an OTC transaction. So let's say, Mike, you wanted to raise 50K from us. We are not going to send you the 50K to your wallet because you could essentially run away with the money, delete your account from Telegram, and we can never see you again. Therefore, the DAO treasury would have just lost 50K. So the way how we're mitigating the whole risk from the DAO Whale, DAO treasury from even getting bugged is that since we're partnering up with service providers, marketers, incubators, we're going to pay them directly. So let's say you had a token, you need marketing, and you wanted 20K funding to fund that marketing. We'd link you up with our marketers and we'd pay the marketers directly, the call channels, the AMAs, everything directly from the DAO treasury wallet. Therefore, we're mitigating the whole risk of a private sale as well. So it's more like a loan. Once these projects do pre-sale on Presale, then they're going to pay the loan back plus interest, or dependent on how much potential the project is, we could take a very, very small amount of tokens, vested tokens, or even get paid through volume tax.
Perfect. Appreciate that, brother. Next question is Josh here, Josh C. His first question says, I think it kind of aligns what we just talked about. Your website says that contributions will be run by professionals, but I believe it's still not 100% immune to losses, especially in the market condition we're currently in. Do you have any backup plans on how you will handle the losses?
Sorry, can you repeat that again for me, please? Just cut out.
Yep, sorry. Yeah, his first question here is, your website says that contributions will be run by professionals, but I believe it's not 100% immune to losses, especially in this current market. What are your backup plans? Yeah.
I mean, nothing in life is really promised anyway, but obviously in order for us to make strategic and safe investments, we need to do our due diligence behind the people that are proposing, making sure that they are KYC'd, that they've got positive track records, they have the experience worthy enough of us investing into them, because at the end of the day, we aren't going to invest into anyone with an idea. People need the vision, the ambition, and the drive. We also tend to prioritize projects that have already been invested in, or what I mean by that is founders bootstrapping funds. So they've got their own personal stake, they have conviction in what they're doing because their funds are at stake. If a project approaches us and they haven't funded anything at all, then we're going to be less likely to invest into them. But overall, nothing really is promised. Obviously, we're going to have our partners who have done many AMAs in the past that will be joining the Whale Tank as panelists to judge these projects, making sure that certain elements tick the boxes. If they don't, then we're probably just not going to invest into them.
Perfect. Yeah, it makes sense. That actually answered his second question there. His last question is about a CEX listing. If you plan on going CEX, this would definitely halt your taxes. How do you plan to continue to fund the DAO treasury if you go on a SEX listing?
It's not going to halt our taxes on the decentralized exchanges. Therefore, people will continue to buy and sell through PancakeSwap, which we can still collect taxes. A benefit of getting listed on a centralized exchange is that now we get more investors, we get more exposure to the project. Although it's on a centralized exchange, we don't get to tax that, but we do get more volume and more activity through the buys and sells on a chart.
Perfect. Next question here is from Superboy. Reading your website here, 60% of the DAO's Whale's profitable investment will be used for repurchases and reflects tokens on staked holdings. May I know what is the percentage of APR per year if you follow and have a good liquidity fund?
The APR, that we don't have a definitive answer for now, just because that will depend on the amount of profits we are going to make through the DAO treasury. We don't have a token distribution or token allocation allocated towards staking, just because that goes against the vision for the project. We don't want to incorporate a hyperinflationary ecosystem where many tokens are getting introduced to the market, and then those tokens being used as exit liquidity. So most of our profits, well, all of our profits that are going to be sent to the stakers will be funded through the profits that we make from the DAO investment treasury.
I like it. All right. His second question here from Superboy is, how would your DAO mechanism work? Will it be that the voting power is proportional to the amount of token held? And if so, how will you prevent the whales from hijacking the direction of the project?
So yeah, this question is a bit similar to the one Seattle asked me earlier. So the way how we're going to mitigate the whole risk of whales manipulating the trajectory of the DAO is by implementing a minimum of tokens each wallet needs to hold. That the figure will be announced, but we're going to make it fair. It's going to probably be around like 0.1 BNB worth of tokens. But we're going to make sure that every single wallet has to own X amount of tokens prior to proposing and voting. Therefore, they can't create hundreds of wallets and airdrop the tokens to each individual wallet and manipulating the whole ecosystem.
Perfect. Next question is about security, more geared towards an audit. Who do you have planned, if any, to approach for auditing your contract?
We plan on getting our contract audited by Solid Proof, which will be done within the next week. We're also looking to formulate a partnership with them as well for the projects launching out of our platform.
I also have a really good relationship with Certic, so it's not beyond us to partner up with Certic as well and kind of bring them a ton of business and also get us a free audit. So I'm working on that right now.
Perfect. Let's see. Next question is coming from CC. Many crypto projects do not implement a true burn system. Do you plan on including a burn into your ecosystem? And if so, what would that entail for percentages?
So if we go into the token distribution, we plan on burning 24% of our total supply upon launch. So upon launch, 24% of the total supply will be burnt. This is the only burn that we'll do. We don't have taxes allocated to buybacks and burns. It's just going to be 24%.
Perfect. All right. grab just a couple more here for you, brother. I know it's getting a little late for you.
It's all good, bro. I stay up until like 3, 4 a.m. anyway. This is usually
good. All right, let's get some more in here then. Next
crypto
one is
news.
from Jane Gillian. Says, I saw in your white paper that an exclusive community of token holders with 1 million WOW each will get an exclusive whitelist access to projects. My question is, how will it be able to select those who will be eligible for the whitelist to avoid giving some persons preferential treatment?
So the way how the whitelist system for the whale tank projects is going to work is it's going to be done through the DAO, through the DApp, sorry. So as you stake 1 million tokens, each project that gets incubated through a platform will have access to getting a whitelist. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, this is going to really, it's just going to really reward our early investors that got in before the price was, when 1 million tokens was worth less, right? So if you get in, hold and stake and do all that good stuff, then you're sitting pretty when we come up on some really big, huge projects and everybody's looking for a whitelist for them. And, like Dao Whale has access to 100 whitelists before anybody else, so that's one thing that I do want to work into the terms of helping out projects is, we get early access to their whitelists and private sales and pre-sales or whatnot.
Yeah, so basically, as soon as you stake 1 million tokens and you've connected your wallet to the DApp, your wallet will automatically be whitelisted for all the whale tank projects.
Love it. Let's see. Jane's second question here is, considering the fact that there are a high number of unsuccessful projects in the BSC space these days, most investors are now moving to some other blockchains. What are your plans, and I know we touched on this earlier in your white paper, on expanding to the other blockchains? I know you touched on Ethereum. Do you have any plans to expand further than that?
So we're all fully aware that the Binance Smart Chain place doesn't really have long-term investors, hence why we do have a plan to bridge over to the Ethereum blockchain within the first 2 to 3 weeks of token launch. Therefore, we can capture all the ETH whales. Those are the guys that will actually hold and see the longevity of the project. We don't really want the BSC cheaters who will buy the token, dump after 2-3x. It will destroy the project, and obviously that's not really something that we want. So our vision is definitely long term, despite the status of our token, whether it's really low or really high, people continue to get rewarded in BNB. So it's completely hyperinflationary proof.
And the fact that everybody can, invest with their BNB, and then we can work with any chain we want, really, and then just reward them back in BNB, so they don't really have to worry about switching chains and doing all this and that,
I like it. Makes it very simple. And I do agree, switching, very soon, as well as you're doing it within 2 to 3 weeks over to the Ethereum network, which is, as we all know, very, not very stable, but far more stable than BSC. Very smart move. So I definitely can appreciate that. Let's see. Last question from Jane here is, I love the fact that there is a governance in this project, but how will you make sure that the governance won't benefit? Oh, we already answered this. I'm sorry. Another question. Next question is from Alex Casa. We know that community plays a vital role to make a project successful. So do you plan on having community events, or are you going to organize to reach a larger audience of investors? What are your marketing plans on this favor?
Yeah, so I think Conda should answer this. He's marketing expert. Yeah.
Yeah. So hold on, sorry. So yeah, community is everything, right? And not only do we have our community, our Dao Whale community, but as we start onboarding projects and helping projects, we're going to their communities as well, right? Because we're going to be the first people that their community sees. We're going to be the first name their community sees. They're going to see Dao Whale first. So we're going to be constantly growing our community into something huge. And that's one of the perks, of helping projects get going, is like you're the first person that their community sees. And Dao Whale will be the center point of all of these projects that launch with us. So yeah, just as we grow and as we take on new projects, we're just going to keep growing our community and growing it until it's something, this huge force that's to be reckoned with, you know?
And as well, just from having all of our partnerships with all the different call channels and influencers, each call channel has their own community. And by us combining all these different influencers and communities into one, that also builds the Dao Whale community as well. Like Conda said, community is the center point of pretty much the project, and the definition of a successful project definitely comes from the community aspect. It's not even too much focused on the product. We've seen tokens with absolutely no utility, but with an amazing community that have reached the hundreds of millions of market cap. So community is definitely a focal point that we're prioritizing.
And also, you know, what we're doing here in Dao Whale is really going to have the community be more active and more involved in wanting to check in and seeing, you know, what projects we have to look at, what projects that they want to do their research on and vote on. So this project just really leans towards the community, not only for support, you know, talking about our token, but also in researching upcoming projects that we want to work on or have the community vote on. So I really feel like we can really captivate and get the community involved in the everyday workings of this project.
I absolutely love it. I couldn't agree anymore. 100%. Community absolutely is the key to a solid foundation to build up from there. And you're exactly right. You've seen you know, great projects just completely failed, you know, these days, that should have been doing great, but the community, it just wasn't there. The outreach wasn't there, and you know, it's sad. So it's good to see building the solid foundation of all the communities to help get backing and to really help push everything else to the next level. Let's see. We'll take one more question here from Bean. Might be a new guy here. Welcome, Bean. This is a liquidity pool question. Liquidity pools are used to facilitate decentralized financial lending, staking, and we've seen that liquidity has become an important part of many ecosystems. Many projects usually run into liquidity problems. So what is your liquidity system, and how will your project use it to increase your token value? Will you adjust the liquidity percentages down the line?
So we're the liquidity pool to market cap ratio will be around 10%. Anything less is too volatile. Obviously, we want to be able to sustain. We want to make sure that our tokenomics are designed meticulously. Same with the liquidity pool ratio. Over time, if we have to, then we most likely will adjust the ratio. But we are looking at liquidity for 365 days, so it's going to be safe.
365 days at 10%. You know, that's very sustainable. I like that 100%. Well, let's see. That is it, Shrimp. I appreciate you answering all those questions, especially you, Conda, there, jumping in. Appreciate those. And we're going to kick it back to Seattle here. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Conda. Thanks, Shrimp. Satoshi. Shrimp Toshi.
Yes,
there you go. I said it correctly. All right, guys. Hey, man, very well presented. Love the idea. Love the concept. You know, we are very happy to be part of your guys' vision project. And, you know, we want to see you guys succeed. And we look forward to it. Looks like you guys definitely need to add us onto your white paper partnership there.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Yeah, we need to edit a few things, and you'll be on there. No worries.
Actually,
Awesome.
there's a lot of partners we need to add still. So don't worry, we're on it.
Yeah, bro. Too many partners. I'm getting muddled up. Jeez.
Yeah, you know, you guys have been putting the work. That's for sure.
Yeah,
great to see. Yeah, guys, you know, you guys did a heck of a job, man, presenting the project, like I said. And thanks for being here. I know it's like 12 a.m. for you over there, Shimtoshi. Conda, I'm not sure where you're from, but appreciate you guys being here. If you guys don't have a last word for me, we're going to go ahead and post the giveaway. And I think, you know what, while you guys were doing the question, I just created something. Let me post it really quick here. Let me forward to the room really quick. So we're gonna, for those that are listening right now, we do have some whitelist giveaway. I'm not sure how Mike's gonna do that, but right off bat, we're gonna do $100 giveaway. And if you guys, I'm gonna forward the post to the room. I'm gonna pin it. So Dao Whale is gonna give $50, and we're gonna give 50, right? And all you guys gotta do is you gotta join their room and join our room as well. Well, if you're in our room already, just join their room and reply to the post done. And we're gonna have both posts pinned in the Telegram here. So I encourage you guys to go over there, be part of the community. I think it's a great project, not financial advice, but these guys seem legit, and it's the reason why we're in partnership. Shimtoshi, Kanda, if you guys don't have a last word for us, we're gonna go ahead and bring Mike back on to do the whitelist giveaway. And how many do you have for us anyway?
Sorry, do we have what? Sorry, what did you say? See how at the end? Didn't quite understand.
Oh, the whitelist. You guys have some whitelist to give out, right?
Yeah. We got whitelist. How many did we say? Was it 5 or 10? I'm not too sure. Actually, we'll give away 10 just because it's such an amazing AMA. We're going to give away 10 whitelists. Check the pins, join both communities, and yeah, guys. We're also hosting a private sale. It's not open to everyone. In order for someone, if you want to get involved, shoot me or Seattle or Mike a DM, and we'll ask a few questions. But yeah, man, thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. It's been a great AMA, and I hope to see you all in the Dao Whale community.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you guys for having us.
Yes, 100%. Thank you guys for coming in. Looking forward to the future.
Perfect. Yeah, guys, make sure you guys join your Telegram as well and reply to the pin post over there as well, okay? Done. So that way they're going to pick 2 winners, and we're going to pick 2 winners on our side as well. So make sure you guys do that and be part of the community. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good one, everyone. Good night.
Night, Trim. All right, guys. So we're going to do this the same way as we're going to do the $25 each giveaway, or $50 each room giveaway. I unfortunately have a desktop, like I mentioned earlier, that's in for repairs, and my laptop is on the fritz. So I'm going to pick 10 juicy whitelist winners, 5 from this group, 5 from that group, and all you got to do is same entry, reply to this pin post here, done, and I will be sure to post the winners in just a little bit here. Unfortunately, I don't have a shared screen tonight to give to you guys, which is very sad for me, and I apologize, but I'll have everything sorted out very shortly for that. But yeah, with that being said, that's going to wrap up our AMA tonight. As always, I'll have everything posted, pinned very shortly here. We got some time for this. I know it's going to be a text thing, so I'll give a good 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so. Make sure everybody has a nice even shot to get in on this. And we'll go out and pick the whitelist winners as well as the 2 $25 winners. Appreciate you all coming out tonight. Shrimp, thank you so much. Seattle, always a great host. Appreciate you, brother. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right. Thanks, Mike. See you guys.